The persona is the mask we wear in relation to the world and others. The mask you wear and how to finally become yourself. You laugh, but it feels empty. You function, but inside, you're exhausted. You show strength, but secretly wish you could be weak just once. Do you know this feeling? Then stay until the end, because this journey leads you to something you thought you'd lost: yourself. Have you ever asked yourself whether you're truly being yourself or just playing a role you once assumed? Maybe you're the strong one who always has it together, or the funny one who never shows how she really feels, or the successful one who's long since burned out inside. Maybe you're someone who always functions, is always kind, never makes waves, and still feels empty inside. Maybe you smile automatically, even though you feel like crying. Maybe you say yes, while everything inside you screams no. Maybe you've gotten so used to your role that you no longer recognize yourself in the mirror. But what if all of this is just a mask? A persona, as Carl Jung called it, a facade you need to function in social life, but that simultaneously distances you from your true self. A shell that once protected you, but now isolates you. A mask that might have once helped you survive, but now prevents you from truly living. Today is about that mask, and how to recognize it, understand it, and slowly take it off, so you can once again feel who you really are. So you can reconnect with your true core, your emotions, your inner compass, because only when you know who you are can you stand in the world with clarity, and only then can you truly connect in relationships with real closeness, not just an adapted role. Most importantly, only then can you make peace with yourself. Write in the comments, in which situations do you notice that you're just playing a role? If you're still here, you're already doing something rare. You're daring to question. That's where change begins. What is the persona? Carl Jung's explanation. Carl Jung coined the term persona as the mask we present to the world. It's the image we maintain to belong, to be accepted, and to meet expectations. The persona helps us play a social role. It makes coexistence easier. It's part of the game we all play, in families, at work, in public. It's a tool for self-protection, a buffer between our inner and outer worlds. But the persona is not our truth. It's a filter, a shield, a compromise between who we are and what the world wants us to be. It is necessary, but dangerous when we confuse it with our true self. Then flexibility becomes a trap. Then we stop living and start performing. And over time, performance becomes a prison, even if it once felt safe. If you're overly identified with your persona, you lose touch with your true self. You function, but feel empty. You're loved, but don't feel seen. It's like performing in a theater every day, a packed house, applause. But you're alone on stage, and behind the curtain, your soul is silently calling out for recognition. How the mask is formed even in childhood. We learn which parts of ourselves are good and which are unwanted. A sensitive boy hears, "Toughen up." An angry girl is told, "Be nice and quiet." A creative child is laughed at for daydreaming. So we learn to hide parts of ourselves and overemphasize others. We build a self-image that provides safety. We learn to please, to function, to fulfill expectations. But it's not real. And the more we cling to it, the further we drift from our wholeness. We begin to see our true self as a threat, rather than a source of vitality. The mask grows with us, in school, at work, in relationships. We internalize what's acceptable and suppress the rest, until we don't even know what's real and what's performed. Often we become so skilled that even we don't realize we've lost ourselves. The masks get perfect, and the inner voice gets quieter. But deep down, a quiet resistance forms, a longing for authenticity, a memory of who we were before the world told us who to be. Coming up, how to tell if your achievements are truly yours or just a product of your mask. The cost of the mask. The mask protects us, but it comes at a cost. We feel empty inside. Relationships remain superficial. We lose access to our true emotions. We experience inner conflict because the outside doesn't match the inside. We achieve success, but it feels meaningless. We are not alone, but still feel lonely. We hear compliments, but they don't reach us. We're praised, but feel unseen. Eventually, we ask ourselves, who am I when I stop trying to be someone? What remains when no one is watching? Whose voice do I hear when all others go silent? That moment of questioning is the first step toward truth. It's the moment healing begins, because you stop denying yourself, because you begin to ask questions that seek depth, not approval, because you dare to feel again, beyond the masks. Don't underestimate this moment. It's the seed of transformation. The path to authenticity. But how? Living authentically doesn't mean abandoning all filters or always showing your raw self. It means becoming aware of when you're performing, hearing the inner voices you've long suppressed, being honest with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, having the courage to show up, not just present yourself, knowing, where am I real and where am I just functioning? Ask yourself, when do I pretend and why? What parts of myself do I never show? What have I suppressed to fit in? Who would I be if no one expected anything from me? What fear holds me back from being real? When do I lose myself? When do I truly feel alive? What do I want to feel, but don't allow myself to? Authenticity is not a pose. It's a practice, a daily decision, a return to honesty in a world that rewards performance. Remember, every time you choose to be real, you reclaim a piece of your wholeness. Integrating the shadow. Carl Jung often spoke of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we reject or suppress. But these very shadows often contain our greatest potential. If you learn to see your shadow not as an enemy, but as part of your wholeness, you begin to heal inside. The courage to be authentic means embracing the shadow and stepping out of the mask. It means facing your anger, your sadness, your weakness, and giving them space, because they are part of your whole self. And only when you can hold even your unloved parts will you be free. Not because you are perfect, but because you are whole. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." That darkness is not your enemy, it's your hidden light. There lies your courage, your truth, your power. Your shadow is not a flaw, it is your depth. Conclusion: you are more than your role. Your persona is a tool, not a prison. It may help you navigate the world, but it must not define you. It must not hide your truth. It must not replace what lives inside you and longs to be lived. Most of all, it must not take away your access to your own heart. When you begin to live from the inside out, you will feel. Your energy returns. Your relationships deepen. You no longer have to perform. You can simply be. You don't need applause anymore. Only connection. You're no longer controlled by others. You become you. You become vulnerable, and in that, powerful. This is where your new chapter begins, a life that truly belongs to you. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists. What you accept transforms." And that's the path. Not fighting, but accepting. Not hiding, but integrating. Not trying to please, but being real. Taking off the mask is not a loss. It's a return, a homecoming to yourself. If these words resonate with you, share this video. Maybe someone needs to hear exactly this today. And maybe, just maybe, your courage will inspire someone else to begin their own journey home.